Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, the enlightened insider Eddie B. Joining me is Bossman himself, the one, the only, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello.
You need that intro. I'm such in a giddy mood. How are you doing, Corey?
Good. Tired, but that's normal. That's just normal. It's normal.
Oh,
it's too normal. But I'm good. I had a relaxing kind of game-filled weekend, and I am good. How are you, Ed?
I am really good. I had to stop in at my job today on my off day because I had to teach another person something. But when I was going to work on this particular road, there was a car accident, and this Corvette was smashed up, like literally crushed, because it hit an SUV, and then like the SUV had damage, but it didn't have that much damage. Like the Corvette was like total. I don't know if the person survived or what, but because of that accident by my job, it was going to back up all the traffic up, and I'm like, so I gladly I didn't have to go way around, because I would normally have to go out of my way for 15 minutes to get on the road that I need to get home. Because when the accident happened, it did 5 o'clock rush hour that it happened. So, but I don't know what happened after that, and I'm just like, oh, somebody's car is totaled. That's about to be a mess, and trying to go through the insurance company, because the person in the Corvette hit the person in the SUV. And I'm like, ooh, that's going to be something. So I wish I could find out how that plays out, but unfortunately I won't know anything. But other than that, yeah, I kind of focus on one particular game that I'm going to be talking about for Playing with Power, and I have thoughts because I'm doing a review for this game, so people will be able to read it hopefully this coming Sunday, because it's a major one. So but yeah,
cool.
that's kind of been it. Yes. Well, Corey, should we get into some housekeeping, or do we have any housekeeping for today?
There's not really any housekeeping. We do need to do Patreon, and we do have to give away some Turtles games.
Yes.
So we will do that in a moment. Let me pull up this stuff here. We had a few entries on Twitter, and we had a few entries through email. Thank you, everybody who entered and left us nice reviews and 5-star ratings on iTunes and Spotify and all those places. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, we're going to do Patreon first, Ed. Just so I can pull up these Twitter people. Let me get this all set up here. All right, good. I do have it in here. All right, so let me open our email also, because I don't want to leave them out. So, yeah, Patreon. You can support Nintendo Pow Block, Expansion Pass, and the plethora of shows here on the Boss Rush Network by visiting our Patreon page, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Patreon is a subscription-based model where you can support your favorite creators for a certain amount of money, and at those different levels of money, you can you receive certain perks. So we offer 2 tiers currently. The $1 tier, which is early access to 4 different shows: Expansion Pass, Boss Rush Podcast, Boss Rush After Dark, and Standard Definition, as well as upcoming shows like the return of Talk the Walk. So I guess that'd really be like 5 shows. If you subscribe at the $5 tier, You get early access plus a Patreon producer credit here on Nintendo Pow Block, as well as our other shows across the network. So without further ado, Ed, our Patreon producers for this episode of Nintendo Pow Block are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just offer a few perks if you decide to support us financially. If you are a free listener, we do ask that you leave us a 5-star rating and review on Spotify or iTunes. It really helps. It really, really does. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a nice review. It really helps. I like it. So, Ed.
Yes.
Giveaway time.
Yes.
So I want to tell everybody thank you for entering our giveaway. This was kind of a first run, kind of experimenting with giving away games, I think once a month. So, yeah, Ninja Turtles was a nice kind of entry point because it's cheap enough to where we can use the Patreon money to give away 2 copies.
Yes.
So, Ed, okay, I'm going to go into our email first, Ed. Man, how do we want to do this? Okay, so let me count these entries real quick because I should have. So, while I'm looking this up, Ed, today was so busy. I texted you. So, we have an event going on at work this week, and we had a podcast recording, and I did not get home until super late, and I asked you to do the doc for me because I just did not.
And I was getting dinner and getting like, okay, let me get the stock ready and everything. And the moment I literally started getting the doc that's when you text me, and I was just like, I'm already on it. I'm already getting it because I when we was talking earlier today, and a certain section that we're going to get to later on, everybody, we were not having trouble, but it was kind of weird for today.
Oh, you mean Family News and how there's no Nintendo news for like the past 2 weeks?
Pretty much.
Gosh, it's like scraping the bottle of Donkey Kong's last barrel.
Dude, I literally had to ask you. I'm like, and this is not a normal. So we do side tangent. Okay, everybody, side tangent. Why Corey get his stuff together? We've never had a news cycle where it was really quiet. Like even during the Wii U era, like there was. I mean, and even though we had 3DS and everything, we at least had some kind of news or some kind of big news for Nintendo Pow Block. And it just seems like lately that Nintendo's been quiet, and even some third parties been quiet, and it feels like a lot of the news is for Sony and Microsoft, which is great, which is awesome.
But I just like, to me, it's like Nintendo has all their news out there, right? It's like, they have all their games set for the year, right? Aside from maybe like 1 or 2 surprises, and nobody else has any games coming out. And every time it's like Gamescom just happened.
Yeah.
But there weren't any Switch games there except for Sonic Frontiers, I think, is the only game coming to Switch. And it's like, well, I mean, okay, but we knew that.
They announced that 17 games, some of them were coming to Switch, but it was just like with Gamescom, it was so me, Austin, and Grayson, shout out to Grayson for hosting it, but we were like on his Discord, we was all 3 talking, and we was watching Gamescom, and we know that when we look at these trailers, of course, most of someone's going to come to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, but we were looking for the Switch logos so we can know, okay, what stuff is Nintendo getting. And it really felt like, man, you guys don't realize that your game could possibly do well if it was on a Nintendo console. And I understand that it's an underpowered system. Completely understand that. That's your decision. I mean, is that their decision? They already made a plan. But it was just like, you guys really had a chance to really wow some people by putting something on Nintendo. Because I'm sorry, I mean, Gamescom was good, but it was really lackluster in
Mhm.
diversity of games. It if it wasn't a Souls game, it was a space game. If it wasn't a space game, it was a medieval game. And it was just like these ideas are tiresome and so recycled. Yeah, Liza P looks good. Great. It's a Pinocchio in a Dark Souls game. But you already showed 5 games earlier that's in that Dark Soul manner. And I throughout the whole thing, we were just like, and I understand it's not Jeff Keighley's fault or anything. He has to take what he's given to and show that that's fine. But I was out talking to Grayson, I was talking to Austin, and I was just like, why do I feel like this is going to be what we get at the Game Awards? And because it felt like this is more just what E3 was, or his game summer of gaming presentation, where it's just like these recycled ideas, these gorgeous cutscene trailers, but with no gameplay, and it's gonna be like, I feel like we're gonna get the same thing for the Game Awards, and it really just showcases that he I don't know who he's reaching out to, but these developers really need to change it up. They really need to produce something that's really gonna wow people, and that means different ideas, gameplays, art styles, cut trailers that may be funny or like really cool and interesting to really talk, because a lot of this stuff feels so boring, cliche, and by the numbers that it's not wowing nobody. And because a lot of people just like this, without having Sony or Nintendo or really Microsoft, it's hurting his presentations badly.
See, I disagree with you. I think people were excited for Lies of P. I think Gotham
Yeah.
Knights looks cool. I mean, Harry Potter, I've been sold on that since they showed it off the first time, right? So, I mean, I think there's a lot of good stuff there. But I mean, I agree with you in a sense that there wasn't anything surprising or like, oh my gosh, did you see that? But like, I think there were some good games shown. It's just Nintendo doesn't ever really get involved with Gamescom, really. They
Yeah.
always have their own September Direct, right? Like that's the thing now. Everybody, as I was on here, everybody's talking about a September Nintendo Direct because there's been a Nintendo Direct every September for the last
Yeah.
7 years or something. So, uh, I mean, I think Nintendo needs to show off something for at least. I mean, I think. Man, I don't know what they need to show. I think Bayonetta's going to get its own direct pretty soon. I
Hmm.
think they need to show off what's coming, January, February, March-ish, but like at the same time, I don't know, maybe they'll wait till after the Game Awards, maybe they'll wait till after Pokemon's out, right? Like
Yeah.
I think they are in no rush to show anything else because they have such a big holiday.
And I was thinking about this question. I don't know if you want to do an expansion pass on this, but I was thinking about Nintendo Direct and trailers when it comes to Nintendo. It seems that when stuff is shown, even on like maybe on a Nintendo website or even on their Twitter page or whatever, it seems that when games are announced from Nintendo or in their Direct, it gets a lot of recognition and gets people talking. But when it's other anything outside of that, it's just like, oh, that's cool, and then people move on. Yes, Liza P was kind of like the that Gamescom presentation, but it's just another Souls game that we see multiple times. It looks different. They may be adding some more things, and it's a cool usage of the Pinocchio name in a sense. But I'm just like, man, it's what is it about these presentations that's so different from Nintendo one that get people talking about when it comes to Nintendo wrecking their trailers than it is for other presentations.
Look, any conference where they're going to announce Kojima's podcast in two languages, okay? is good enough for me.
Are you going to listen?
No, I don't care. No offense to Kojima, I just don't care. I know a lot of people do care, and that's great. This guy's not one of them. So, I think the only Kojima game I've actually ever put any time into, I think, was Zone of the Enders, the first one.
Oh, wow.
So, and I don't remember any of it, so who am I to say? Anyways, Ed. All right, I have numbered all of our giveaway winners. Well, not winners, entries.
Okay.
1 through 36. Okay?
Okay.
So I need you to pick a number 1 through 36.
All right.
Drum roll, please.
I'm going to actually feel young, and I'm choosing 24.
Okay. Well, that, Ed, is a Twitter entry.
Ooh.
Are you ready for this? Okay.
Yes.
So, we have a winner. Our winner for our first entry of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is Seth. He goes by Get Right Up on Twitter. Thank you for entering. He left us an iTunes review of 5 stars, and he said the best podcast to keep you up to date on all the latest Nintendo news. A fantastic show. Thank you, Seth, for entering. You won yourself a copy. So I will DM you from the Nintendo Pow Block Twitter account and reply to it within 48-ish hours, and you win. Congratulations. All right, Ed, we have one more. We have one more to give away. Okay?
Okay.
Do not pick number 24. Pick number 1 through 36.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pick the year that me and you met, and that's going to be 15.
Okay. Well, that is an email winner, Ed. You and I actually know this person. He's one of our longest listeners. He's been around for a long time. He watches and comments on YouTube. We are happy to announce that the winner of our second TMNT is none other than longtime listener Sam Hall. He writes in. He left us a 5-star rating on Spotify, and in his email he says, "You guys have kept me entertained for many years, and I hope that continues for many years to come. Thank you for putting on such a great show every week, and I look forward to every Wednesday and Sunday when I can hear what you crazy kids are talking about. Sam, sorry. Seth is our other winner. I'm messaging him back right now. Sorry. Wow. So thank you, Sam, for entering. Appreciate you. Thank you to all of our people who entered. Remember, there's another giveaway beginning next week. We're going to give you, 3 weeks, I think, to enter?
Yes.
We got to figure that out. So sleep on that during the show, Ed. Figure out what our next giveaway, how they enter. So, okay. Seth, thank you for entering. Sam, thank you for entering. Thank you, everybody who entered. Good luck on the next giveaway.
Yes. All right.
I don't know what that was.
All right. Well, Corey, you ready to get into Snacktendo? I really don't have a lot of snacks. I had a cherry Garcia and a strawberry cheesecake, uh, Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and Friday, I had to work overnight, um, which is surprising. I didn't really have to stay long. I stayed close to like almost only to 12 o'clock. They were doing our floors at my job, so I brought like 12 foot um Jimmy John's like beach party uh sub, which is like turkey, cheese, well, provolone, I should say, cucumbers and avocado on it. Um, it was good. I had it before, but I thought I was going to have to be there for like until like 12 or 1 o'clock. They were done like in 3.5 hours. I'm like, whoa, this is quick. Like they literally did the whole store. It was not playing. And so they got in, did what they had to do and leave. And other than that, I really haven't been snacking or anything. And I didn't get to go to the grocery store to find out what new snacks they have out. Um, I'm kind of boring today, boring this week. But hopefully next week I'll have some good snacks and everything. So, what about you?
Um, I haven't really been snacking either, Ed. We did go to a wedding this weekend, which I'll talk about later, but they had they had these little cake balls. They're just these little cake balls, and they're like covered in icing, and
Hmm.
they're so rich and they're so good. I ate like, so I had three of them at the wedding, and I brought some home and had like three or three more. But if you sat this plate in front of me, I would have eaten them all, and that was very dangerous because I'm trying to lose some weight again because, well, you know. And so yeah, man, these things were really good. It's just chocolate cake with icing covered in icing, and yeah, man, they were so good.
Which reminds me, I need to go get Ring Fit Adventure so we can start our journey.
Yeah. But I did that was really it. Um I really haven't been snacking a lot either. So that was my big snack.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try to find some new places to get like food because I mean I know the places that surround me I've tried, um, but like I want to find that gyro quesadilla that you had. I want to see if anyone makes it in my area. I still want to try that. Uh, yeah, and I just got to go to my other grocery store and see what do they got because they haven't brought out any new Mountain Dews out yet. Um, because I think around this time or next month they'll do like their Halloween special one, and I don't know if they're changing it yet
Mm,
or anything.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
what's up? Which is surprising me. Why? I wonder why Monster haven't had a new energy out.
They have
Because
new ones all the time. They're just not delicious. They're actually
the
pretty terrible.
last
That's why
the last
I've reverted back to the white ones. Okay, so like my favorite yeah, the juice gross. My favorite my favorite monster is the blue flavor, the ultra blue.
oh, that
Okay,
is good, dude.
it's
It's sold out.
I know it's my favorite, and it's sold out everywhere. And a case of it on Amazon is like twice the price of the white ones.
Hmm.
And so like I switched over to the pink, the grapefruit, the ultra rosa or whatever, and that stuff's really good too.
Yeah.
But it's always sold out too, so I always just have to get the white ones.
With the rose one, even though that one is good, I have to drink it quickly while it's cold because for some unknown reason once it start warming up, it starts tasting different.
Yeah,
But when it's like fresh and cold, it's really good.
yeah, it's not it's not great, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of reverted to the white ones and just kind of I'm trying to keep the diet train rolling. Although
Uh-huh.
tonight I had some pizza rolls for dinner because I had to make some.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing: I had to make something quick, and I had to get my kids to bed and clean up because my daughter decided to take out all of her Play-Doh, and yeah, so it was a fun time, and that isn't even the worst. I mean, I feel bad because like when my wife's home with them alone, like
Mhm.
my daughter took lipstick while my wife was putting my son down, and
Yeah.
in 5 minutes she drew all over the wall with this lipstick. I'm like, oh my gosh, really?
She hasn't started school yet?
Next week.
Uh, I know. I know your wife is just like, I can't wait for you to go back to school.
I know. So, but I'm working from home tomorrow, and we're actually going in the morning to orientation, and I'm gonna sneak over there before my meeting. So I'm excited because we're gonna meet her teachers and stuff. But I'm gonna leave early because I have a meeting at 11:30. But
ah, yes, I will be at work. So Corey, I swear, if there's a Nintendo Direct that gets announced, even though it's at the end of August, um, I, man, if Nintendo announced something that we got to do a podcast, hopefully we could just like look, sneak away for just 10 minutes, get a messenger or something. Let's talk real quick and then prepare.
hmm.
Well, Corey, should we get into playing with power?
Well, Ed, I've been playing a little bit of Link's Awakening again because I feel bad about talking about Destiny for, forever again. So I feel bad for talking about Destiny on a Nintendo podcast because that's just how it goes, No Destiny on Nintendo. It's okay, though. It's fine. I have
Yes.
been playing Link's Awakening, though. I'm getting through the 6th dungeon. I'm using a great guide. I'm trying to 100% it. I'm ready to wrap it up, though. I'm ready to put a bow on it, do the thing, move on, and yeah. So I love that game, though. It's so good. It's so good. Unapologetically 90s game design, though. I gotta tell you, they could have done some work to that game to, like, make it not so 90s. It just
I mean, yeah,
the trading quest too, man. That trading quest is so stupid. It's so dumb.
it's long too. Just be like, what the heck? And I think, yeah, if you don't have a guide, you try to do that by memorization, you would completely forget to be like, why the heck do I have this item for?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to give this to?
Yeah. So I'm at a spot where like I can just pick it up and know right where I'm at in the guide, know right where I'm at in the world and what I got to do next. So I've been playing that, but I've been playing a lot of Destiny because Season of Plunder, pirate themed, looting some treasure, fighting some Elixni pirates, and then I also so I was playing last night and I'm like during the week and like on like Sundays and stuff where
Hmm.
I don't really have a lot to do. I realize there's a lot in the game, like single player wise, that I haven't done yet. So I'm actually going back and doing a lot of the single player quest lines, or like
Yes.
just whatever. And I've just been finding new ways to play Destiny, which is weird because I've played so much Destiny. But yeah, and then also the new raid came out this weekend. I didn't try it yet because I was at a wedding, and it's challenge weekend, and I'm not as
Prepare for
as
it.
seasoned as I used to be in that game. So we're gonna try it this weekend. Me and some people from our Destiny Discord and my friend Mitch. We're all gonna get on and try to take out Oryx, the Taken King, again. So, I gotta tell you though, people have been showing graphical comparisons of Destiny 1 King's Fall and Destiny 2 King's Fall, and it's like
Mhm.
night and day difference. The lighting, the character models, the the world and just everything is just, they've really outdone themselves, I think, in terms
I
of the
wonder
visual.
I wonder if they rebuild it from the ground up. Like
No,
they looked at it and then just build it.
I don't think they did. I think they took the bones of the raid and just gave it a nice coat of paint, and
Hmm.
maybe the character models are updated and stuff, which I think they clearly are. And they updated some of the mechanics to the raid to where, because like if you just go in, with my old raid group, we used to do that raid and like we were in and out in like 40 minutes. We had that raid perfected. And so you got to do that for some people, right? And I know that the Oryx fight is a little bit different. I know the Gogoroth fight is a little bit different. I know the War Chief has some different mechanic,
Hmm.
maybe a little bit of a different mechanic. So there's new mechanics in there, but essentially it's the same. So I'm ready to say long live the king and shoot him off to Saturn again, because that's where he belongs.
It's so weird. I was just thinking about Destiny and the platforming, like the jumping and stuff. And I kind of was just thinking like, man, the the three games that I know that do like platform jumping is Destiny, Metroid Prime, and Titanfall 2. Even though Titanfall 2 is you being very agile and the wall running and stuff, the jumping is good in that game, and you do some platform jumping in it. And I don't really get that in Battlefield and Call of Duty for something. And I wonder, has that been the thing for first person shooters, jumping, jumping wise, in a sense.
I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know. I think Destiny's jumping is a little overused, to be honest. But overall, I think it's I enjoy it. I think some of the puzzles they create are kind of mind blowing.
Hmm.
I just, there's no experience like a raid or a dungeon in any other game. I would say the raids are the best part of Destiny if you have people to play with. They are unlike anything else in the game. Although I think in some easier activities they've added some light raid like mechanics to
Uh,
them, like the strikes and stuff. Uh, some of the bosses have light raid mechanics, but like overall, man, like we did Vow of the Disciple last weekend, and there is just nothing like it because everybody has a job to do. Everybody needs to do their job to
yes,
even, have a prayer
progress.
of progressing. And it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. And when you have people
But I
that
think that's.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that's cool that that have a job because it gives you something to look forward to. Like it really, I'm not saying that it forces you to be a teammate, but it forces people to really focus more on the goal and not be like, look, we are not here to play around. We have a goal to get. If you want the best gear, you want to survive and be on top of your game, you need to focus on your goal and go ahead. We're going to support you because we're all working as a team towards this goal. But if this is your job, we need you to focus and do your best on this job.
Hmm. Yeah. So I think it's great. I think Destiny 2 is in an amazing place right now.
Hmm.
Uh, and even like the seasonal model, right? It's there's something new every 3 months to do in the game. There's something new. There's a new story to follow. There's new characters to, what are they doing? Or they bring back old characters and like, well, what's this character up to now? And they follow a storyline with them. And it's just, it's so great to have a game like I man, I don't know, man. It's just I don't even like I don't know if I even care about any other game on other platforms besides Destiny at this point. So I tried to play a little bit of Halo last night too after I played a bunch of Destiny. And
Mm-hmm.
I played like 20 minutes of it. I'm like, I don't even know why I have this installed, you know, which is
I think.
crazy because Halo Infinite is a wonderful game. It plays great.
Mhm.
It's the guns feel good. The enemy design is great. The world is great. It's just like I'm kind of bored. I want to go back, because like as soon as I try to double jump, can't double jump. As soon as I try to use my super, there's no super. Like okay, you have a grappling hook. Destiny's getting a grappling hook next year, so like that. It's just I don't know what it is, but it is just
I think you have. I don't want to say you got comfortable with Destiny, but I think you have ingrained that kind of game design and gameplay in you that any first person shooter, and I'm not saying that all games, but any other first person shooter hasn't met or equaled that gameplay. So to break it, it feels odd and weird to you. Halo Infinite is designed in a different way. It has its own mechanics. So I think, because I think even if you tried to play Metroid Prime, that feeling of playing uh Destiny is going to be so into your hands and in your mind frame of playing. It's going to be like, yeah, this is going to be difficult. How do I break this? You know.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been trying to play other games, and it's just like to me, it's just not, it's just not what I want to do. And I'm kind of getting more and more and more comfortable just realizing that I just don't play games the way I used to, which, in a way is sad, but also in a way, like, I understand what I know what I want to play. And if I'm going to play a first person shooter, I'm going to play Destiny. And if I'm going to play like a third person action game, it's going to be something from something that I like, right? Like Gears or Outriders, or I will probably play Gotham Knights, and I will definitely play Harry Potter. But, like the games I want to play outside of those are all available to me on the Switch, and it's just Destiny's the one game that's not. And I really hope they find some sort of solution to play it natively on a handheld somewhere. If it's Steam Deck, like I was telling LeRon and Stephanie the other day, like if they find a way to let Destiny run natively on the Steam Deck, I'm gonna probably get one.
Well, I think to me.
Shane's in the chat. Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shay. Happy belated birthday. I think.
Yeah, Shane's birthday.
Yes. Yeah, we wished him happy birthday last week. Yes. I think it's a sacrifice of gaming. And that may be another expression past sacrifice of gaming. Stuff that you are willing to give up to play your well-known, well-skilled game on continuously. Because and when that happens, like, man, it's your game of the year becomes very challenging, I should say.
Well, I mean, I've told you, like, I think I've played 2 games that have come out this year. Like, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just not, there's nothing that I'm interested in, right? Like I've played Fire Emblem, which is great. I actually played a little bit of that last night too. I forgot to write that down. It's still really fun. I think I played one mission, and then I was like, okay, it's time for bed because I'm just like
tired.
Really tired. Which is hilarious because I went to bed at like 10:30 last night. It was kind of nice. But yeah, I'm getting all kinds of weird notifications now. Okay. I just can't I just can't find a way to be excited about other games, there's nothing that I've been excited for this year, There's just, and I'm sorry that I have to say that, but there's just nothing I was excited for. I mean, there were cool games that were interesting, like Nintendo Switch Sports, which kind of feels like it fell flat on its face a little bit.
We'll get into that for family news. Trust me, it didn't fall nowhere.
No, I just feel like I don't hear people talking about it the way that I kind of expected to,
Hmm.
you know. And it's just weird. I don't even know what came out this year. Horizon Forbidden West, super exciting. Don't don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play it. God of War seems really cool, but I didn't really. I mean, I liked the last one. I didn't love it, so I'm not like in
Well,
a big hurry to go get it.
we we know that's coming up, but don't nobody know what it is at this point in time. Is Sony
What, God of
it's
War?
Ragnarok
It's
for this
this.
year?
Just direct sequel to
I
the
know
last
that,
one.
but I know that, but it's not out yet. No one knows what it is. We haven't seen much gameplay. We haven't gotten a breakdown or anything. Like Sony's been very quiet, and not knocking Santa Monica about this or anything, but it's really hard to be excited about something that you just don't really know. Yes, we're waiting for the state of play to watch it, to be excited to see what they're going to offer. But man, at this point in time, like, you know, I love you, Sony, but like we talked about earlier, I mean, not earlier, but we talked the past few weeks. I'm like, Nintendo got a lot of stuff on lock, and we know what they're going to offer and what they're going to bring and everything.
Yeah.
And so you guys have to really bring your A game. Yes, Stray is great. Everybody loves Stray, played it, happy. But like God of War Ragnarok, I know it's going to have to knock some people's feet off, but I'm just like, you guys got to get it. You have to get this game to people's mouths so they can start talking about this game. So when it drops in November, regardless if they have expectations or not, people are satisfied with the purchase of your game.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to happen? You could drop God of War, and the Pokemon Company could drop another Pokemon, something trailer that somebody gonna meme from that thing, and that would be the talk of the week or the weekend
Yeah.
over God of War Ragnarok. Not trying to knock Sony or anything, but y'all got to get to chatting. Y'all got to get to chatting. I can't even say that for Microsoft because majority of all this stuff been pushed to next year. So it's just like y'all do whatever y'all want to do at this point.
Wow. Yeah. So that's that's what I've been playing. I don't know if anything's going to change within the next couple weeks. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I actually I looked at Super Mario 3D World last night because I still have those last two levels to beat. And I'm like, do I really want to put myself through that right now? And It was like 10:30 at night. I was like, no, I'm going to bed.
Bedtime I can understand, but yeah, yeah. I would have put it in. Which leads me, are you done, Corey?
Yeah, I'm done. I just, I've been playing a lot of Destiny and it's really great.
Yes. So I've been playing more Xenoblade 3, doing the side quests. I still got 2 more chapters that I need to start working on, but I'm getting a lot of side quests leveling up. I did start Puzzles and Dragons. That's on the Switch. It's not the 3DS version. This is like the mobile game that came out. It still plays the same way. It's kind of different in the way that it looks, because it looks like they kind of redid some things like the artwork and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played the original Puzzles and Dragons, so this is my first time playing it, and it out of nowhere it literally dropped on Switch, and everybody was just like, wait, Puzzles and Dragons, okay, I'll pay $5 or whatever for it and download it. And everybody was just confused because it just came out of nowhere. There was no press release that this was coming to Switch. It just showed up. But I kind of want to focus on Saints Row. This is the reboot of the Saints Row series. We know there was a lot of controversy for it. I just finished it today. And I'm going to be doing a review for Boss Rush. And, because this is a game that I actually bought before, I didn't get no review code or copy or anything like that. This is literally the disc version with any patches and updates and stuff. Um, I did experience one crash. I didn't experience any of the bugs though that people were talking about and stuff. Um, I was watching Digital Foundry breakdown. I think they said which way is the best way to play it. So I did like the I think it's 30 frames per second with 1440p on it. They gave me that option, so I played it that way, and it was running smoothly. I wasn't really worried about any 60 frames per second stuff like that. Uh, I will say this, and I'm going to say how I truly feel for the review. It's not a bad game. I really enjoyed it. It really felt they took a lot from Saints Row 3 and brought it into this game for it. And which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's like, oh, so repetitive, it's so boring, because as for an open world game, this is kind of the uh way that open world games are. And in fact, it's kind of the way that a lot of third person cover based shooters are. I know some of the complaints where all you do is just go in and just shoot anything. I'm like, well, shoot, that's Gears of War for all 6 games. Like, what else do you expect and everything? What if y'all gonna give Gears of War Game of the Year for its first 15 minutes, this game should be on that same level. Because yeah, you do a lot of shooting, but there are levels that which I should enjoy, that um you got the AI driving, and so you turn it. You got to shoot other vehicles and enemies, so it kind of, in a certain way, makes it a shoot 'em up in a sense. Those was kind of like the best times in the game for me. But there's more, and I'm going to break down all of that in the review. But I will say I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think another thing that I kind of had that I couldn't believe that was in the game, that there are points where it would lock you out of the main missions, and so you got to meet some requirements to open that mission and go in and do it. And I'm just like, okay. So I did those things. I opened up those missions and I played it. And there's still some stuff that I got to do. Uh, if I wanna, if you want, if I really wanted to 100% it, I think I would probably be at maybe 40 to 50 hours total. It's not really the if they didn't lock you out and you did certain upgrades on some of the weapons, you probably could get through this game within 15 hours. Um, because I've been playing it ever since the game released, so it's kind of been like almost a week that I played this game, on and off because of work and stuff like that. But I I would say it's a really good game. I don't know if people are going to wait for a Black Friday sale or anything. Um, but when we get into family news, I'm kind of shocked at about this game. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed Saints Row. But like I said, I'm gonna have the review ready for uh Boss Rush, and you guys will be able to check that out. Um, yeah, and everybody will see what I will score it. But that's pretty much it. I could finally now return back to some. Well, actually, no. I will be returning back to Xenoblade, but I gotta get back into Life is Strange also, for Talk the Walk. Um, being getting prepared for that for next month. That's going to be an interesting discussion, because I remember playing Life is Strange on PS3, but I never got to finish the first episode. Um, with it. So this would be, I'm playing the remaster version. So I can't wait to dive in and play all episodes and the DLC back to back. So
Cool.
so
I Saints Row is a game that I really want to play, and I was actually kind of excited for. and then like the entire internet just bashed its face in. I was like, oh no.
I
Uh,
think I think it kind of got unfairly bashed with it because I think people just looked at the reviews, looked at the score, looked at the cons, and whatever negative expectations that they have for this game, I think they feel like the reviews met them, so was able to jump and trash on it. But people who literally ended up buying it and stuff, they were just like, "I'm having fun with this game."
yeah.
I still feel like it's way better than anything in Grand Theft Auto 5.
I I've been I've been like really itching for some sort of like open world ish game to the point where I thought about going back and replaying Cyberpunk at some point.
I don't shoot. I
So
wonder. I wonder if all my save data would transfer to Series X. Like if I got, I
did
wonder
you
if it.
did you play it on Xbox One?
Yeah,
Then
I
it
played on
should.
Steam.
It's the same
Okay,
save. It's
I didn't know if it did cloud saving.
yeah, it
Oh,
should.
okay. Because I
Uh,
would have to just reinstall the whole game on Series X, and
that's
download that patch. And
that's where I was, and but I didn't because I was like, well, Destiny's out, and I don't have time to play anything else. I barely have time to play that.
yeah, so, um, yeah. So everybody, yeah, check out my Saints Row review coming to Boss Rush
Yeah.
later on. Boss Rush. uh, well, Corey, you want to get into some family news? It was weird. I was gonna do. It's time for family news. Family news.
I mean,
'Cause,
sort
uh,
of. Uh,
well, did you want me to get do the reading?
no, I can do
Oh,
it.
okay.
You think I'm incapable of reading the news?
No.
That was not even promising. That did not sound promising at all.
Well, the news is written by me, so I don't know how you go about that.
Hmm. I can read.
Okay.
Let me open it back up. My browser. I had to restart my laptop because it's ancient. Google
Uh,
Drive. There it is. Okay.
well, I'm definitely excited for the Cowabunga collection. I cannot wait to play that. Uh, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
that'll be what Tuesday.
yes.
I got a physical copy of it because it's Ninja Turtles. So, uh, yeah. Anyways, okay. So, Nintendo Switch Sports. We're gonna talk about that little ditty here. Nintendo Switch Sports continues to sell on UK charts. In the latest weekly charts in the UK, it seems after 4 months of being available, Nintendo Switch Sports continues to sell very well, placing at number 3 as it dropped from number 2 last week. The games that are ahead of it are for Horizon Forbidden West at number 2, and with a new entry at number 1 being Saints Row. I'm shocked that that charted so high after all these
Yeah,
reviews.
that's why I was just like people who were trashing it. I'm like, this game hit number one for the UK. I want to see what happens in the US. But yeah,
That's crazy. The chart also includes Mario Kart 8 at 4, Animal Crossing at 5, Pokemon Legends Arceus at 6, Minecraft, Gran Turismo 7, GTA 5, and Lego Star Wars all in the top 10. How are you feeling about this chart, and do you think Nintendo's first party is getting stronger? I mean, I just think there's so many units out there that it's impossible to stop. You could put out Nintendo could put out poop on a cartridge and it would sell, 2 million copies. It seems like it's just the Switch is a powerhouse, and it's no matter what you put out. Not that Nintendo Switch Sports is bad or anything. It's quite good. It's just, I don't. I mean, I know people don't think about it the same way they think about Wii Sports, but it's definitely selling. And the funny thing is like all these games, Nintendo does not chart digital copies. They just don't chart digital copies.
Yeah.
Which makes it all that much more impressive that these games continue to sell. You know, because I know a lot of Switch gamers that only play digital games. You know, including me.
Yes.
Including me. I just buy physical to have it on the shelf, or you know, in case there's a 3DS or Wii U situation where the store closes.
Oh goodness, that yeah.
Which that reminds me, there's a firmware update on the Wii U and 3DS today, so I should probably update my 3DS and my Wii U. I should probably update both. My Wii is still plugged in, so.
Well, I know for me, I'm shocked that Switch Sports is still on there, only in third place. And I know, like you said, this is physical, but man, still Mario Kart 8, Animal Crossing New Horizon. At this point, Mario Kart 8 and Animal Crossing, it don't matter what spots they are in, they got a lot of units out. And this just continue to grow. Like, if this is just UK alone, and this is a weekly chart, that's sales per week of physical copies being shipped to these stores and selling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pokemon Legend of Arceus, man, that's from January.
Yeah.
We are in August.
Well, Animal Crossing's from last year. Mario Kart's from 2014.
Right. So them to be in high numbers still selling, that's literally crazy. Like, I thought something like Elden Ring would still be on it, and it's not. I'm like, whoa, the game of the year that everybody.
Well, Elden Ring's also already sold like 20 million copies, and has probably sold the.
But you got to see that's on multiple consoles compared to these games being.
No, I understand.
One console.
I understand, but I think it's also understandable why Elden Ring is not theirs, because it's already sold the copies it's going to sell until it goes on sale, you know? Because it's still $70, by the way, Elden Ring. Because I was looking at it on the Xbox store the other day, because I was like, I know a lot of people like this game. I know people that don't like Souls games really like this game. Is this the one that would drag me in, even though I've been not so high on it on podcasts recently? But also it's still $70, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe if it's like $30 on Black Friday, maybe I'll get it.
I'm just shocked at this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
With the, and I know me and Luke from his podcast, we was EXP or XCP, sorry about that, that we was talking about the strength of first party, and I just think Nintendo's is just the strongest one out of everybody. I'm like, to have games that you are still selling even on a weekly basis, that you are still on the list of. Mario Kart 8 has been on that list since the release of the Switch, and I'm kind of the Wii U stuff on the Switch, and it's still like in between the 4 to 6 range. That's a lot of copies just for one continent that game is selling. But if this is also doing numbers in Japan and doing numbers in America, like if we was able to put like Famitsu in the NPD and the UK, and that one game, or even in Animal Crossing, if we was able to see those two games on there from their original release date, that is insane of the numbers that game is doing, that those games are doing. And I don't know what other first party title has been able to do anything like that.
Yeah.
You know,
look, it's just a powerhouse, and I don't know how else to explain it.
Dude, New Super Mario Brothers on Wii was like on the NPD for months also on
I know.
Wii.
And it's now hard to find, ironically. If you want to, like, You can find the ones in the little square sleeves all you want, right? But like
Yes.
that game is super hard to find in the red case that it used to come in, you know?
Yep, my mom has it.
By the way, I have a Mario 25th anniversary for Wii sealed, and it's not worth squat. So,
Oh wow.
because I thought about getting rid of it because all those games are on the Switch, and I'm like, I don't need this. Like, I don't get me wrong, I really like having nice collector's editions and like, you know, hey, this is nice. This is a nice kind of tribute, whatever. The Mario 25th anniversary edition is crap. That is, they did zero work on that thing. Zero. They dumped the Super Nintendo ROM of Mario All Stars onto the disc, and they're like, "We're done. Nice.
Here's
No.
$50.
It's so, man, that thing is so bad. I do not recommend. Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, I do want that Destiny Collector's Edition. It's $150.
Online
Yeah,
for the store.
you can only buy it on the Bungie store.
What's the connection? Just a game?
No, it's the, like, it comes with some lore, small lore books, and it comes with Elsie's Puka companion, the little fish ghost from Beyond Light. You know, the little fish ghost, not ghost, from Beyond Light.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lamp, so you can like turn it on and off. It's cool. Laurent and Stephanie made fun of me last week because I couldn't stop talking about it. Like, they weren't like making fun of me in terms of like, you're an idiot, but I could just see them staring at me, and like I felt their like I felt their eyes just gazing into my soul and crushing it.
It's like, if you don't start talking to move on.
And I was like, but it's a little fish lamp and it's got lights and you can turn it on and off. And like, I think at one point one of them said, yeah, that's what lamps do. I'm just like,
that sounds something like Stephanie would say.
I'm like, but you don't understand.
Yeah, but I'm surprised about this chart. Definitely with Saints Row being number one, but I'm just like, that is a new game, so that's kind of to be expected. At this time, will it stay as number one? Nintendo has a chance to take the top spot though, so we shall see. I think if Saints Row drops, I think Ninja Turtles could take it until Splatoon 3. I think Splatoon 3 is really going to take number.
Splatoon 3 is going to crush everything. Splatoon 3 is going to crush literally everything. Everything. So.
Yeah. Oh, and just to give everybody a heads up, me and Corey did not play the Splatfest this weekend. Like we said, that we were really busy and we just didn't have time. But hopefully I could get Grayson on after Splatoon 3 is actually released, and we all talk about it when it comes. So.
The embargoes are up and the reviews are in. TMNT, the Cowabunga collection, is standing at 85 on Metacritic and has received a lot of 8s and 9s across the board. A lot of positives have been reported in the reviews, with only the online for certain games and not. And still, it's great to see that this collection has been treated with care, and we here at Boss Rush cannot wait to experience the game. Does this make you feel relieved and excited to play this game? Can we expect more from Konami with the Turtles in the foreseeable future? So I saw somebody say that this is the way that all retro collections should be, and which makes it even more excited.
Yes.
I think it was actually Nintendo Life. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, because Nintendo Life gave it a 9.
Yeah. I want to read their headline because it was really nice. But Ed, are you excited to check this out? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Nintendo Life said that this is the new gold standard for retro compilations.
Yeah, Digital Eclipse did. Konami and Digital Eclipse did it. Really, Digital Eclipse did a lot of the work for it. But yeah, I'm super excited. I could have been shady, so I'm not going to be shady to a certain game that came out last year. That was a certain collection that people still haven't really received the fixed version of it. But I'm excited for this. I can't wait to play the Game Boy, like the third game, Ninja Turtles, because I never got to play it. And Matt Haddon Project, I never got to play. So I'm excited to really experience it. I cannot wait to run through Hyperstone Heist with you, Corey. And we have to play Hyperstone Heist online. We got to do. Um, because
Yes.
I would love to go to that game, and talk about it, kind of kind of play in a little bit because I know that me and you both beat it on our in our own terms, like on our own platforms. Uh, but I never got to play it two player.
Hmm.
Uh, and I would love to see how that goes and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to play Hyperstone Heist really bad. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. You have no idea
yes.
how excited I am for Hyperstone Heist. It's Hyperstone Heist is the I think everybody is just sleeping on Ninja Turtles at this point on that game. And I think everybody's going in Turtles in Time first in the arcade version of 2. Um so yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play Hyperstone Heist. I think I'm excited to play Tournament Fighters as well,
Yes.
which could be cool. Um, and the fact that you're getting like 13 or 14 games for $40 is a great deal. I think it's a great deal.
Oh
These games,
yes.
but I'm also like super biased towards Ninja Turtles. I mean, if this collection was $100, I would probably pay for it.
Oh, everybody probably be paying for it, and
So
it
there's
is
that
so
as
weird,
well.
and it's so weird because everybody was just like, "Yeah, I'm buying it for Switch." So I would love to see how it does on Xbox and PlayStation, but I think a lot of people are going to be getting this game because I don't know if it's doing a midnight drop digitally for Switch, um,
I don't know that exactly actually.
but a lot of people are planning to buy it physically,
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. So yeah, excited. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Give me give me all that turtles. Give me the turtle lovin'.
Do you think this game would end up as a Game of the Year nomination?
I doubt it. I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, it's a nice collection, but
Hmm.
I doubt that it's going to be anything like this is for people who are nostalgic, right? There it's not like I don't think it's
I think for a lot of gamers who are new to gaming, who never got to play all the NES and Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, or even the arcades, for a lot of I feel like for a majority of this collection, it's going to be new to a lot of people. If you're nostalgic and you play these games, yes, you can't wait to like relive it. But I think for new people who started with the PlayStation or even Xbox genre of gaming, and they want to see what everybody's excited for, everything is going to be new to them. And you know, and so I think that's my idea that's going to happen is that a lot of stuff for people who are new to gaming, all of this is going to be new to them and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So, we'll see. Ninja Turtles. Can't wait. I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited for the Ninja Turtles. Speaking of not Ninja Turtles, the first Splatoon Splatfest was this weekend, and people seem to have really enjoyed it. The Splatfest was rock paper scissors. I would have really liked to have played it, but I was just too busy doing other things like Destiny and visiting friends at a wedding. And rock paper scissors, all three went into battle in the demo version of Splatoon 3 with a big surprise. Rock came out with a hard hitting win. The demo allowed people to try new weapons and maps in the newest mode, the Tricolor Turf War, where 3 teams of 4 go at it to cover the map with all of their ink. Let me tell you, Did not know you could get 12 players in a in a map like that. That's cool. I think that really changes up the dynamic, because I mean,
Hmm.
it's even in games like Halo or Call of Duty or uh, Gears of War, anything competitive, it's always like one team versus one team, and to have a 1v1v1 is super interesting, or 4v4v4 is super interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
I said that I kind of
Especially the
want.
way that Nintendo does their multiplayer.
Yes, I kind of said that I want Power Block to go against the Nintendo Pals and Nintendo Domain, uh, in a tricolor war.
I mean, that'd
I've
be
turf war.
cool. That'd be super cool. Uh, we get Grayson though. Sorry, guys.
Yes, yes. I told Grayson that I was just like, we are snagging you. We would need one more person, and then the Nintendo Pals could get two other people. Nintendo Domain could get their people. Uh, and we just go and we just do like a three-way podcast battle. It's just literally heavy ball. I think that's gonna be a lot that people are gonna be watching online. Like people are streaming it, and getting anticipated and hyped to see who wins. I think it's gonna be a lot of laughs and everything. But I feel like it's gonna be really fun. And definitely if their Nintendo's online structure really holds up, like there's not really no problems and stuff. I cannot wait to see that. See how that goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm man. I feel like it's coming out at a weird time because I really want to play it, but also I'm just playing other things. So we'll see.
Other things meaning Destiny.
Yeah. What else would it be? Um. So yeah, Splatoon. It's cool.
Oh, and just to let you guys know, Team Pipper came in second and Team Scissor came in third.
Mm.
Who would you gonna go for? I was gonna go for Rock.
I mean, I don't know. Probably, I don't know. I, I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. Paper. Does I win?
Boo.
So that leads us to our next story, where Nintendo has already started banning Splatoon 3 cheaters. Splatoon 3 has anti-cheat in place. I'm just reading the Nintendo Life story where they kind of quoted Oatmeal Dome, who is a Nintendo kind of, what would you say, insider, leaker, informant
He's
type person.
kind of like a data miner. Like so
Yeah.
he's well known being a Nintendo data miner. So
Yeah. So Splatoon has anti-cheat in place. Nintendo's beginning to issue console bans, possibly total bans from NSO to players who modified the game. I won't be going into much detail how it works, since anti-cheat relies on security through obscurity. One particular patch that was being shared around lets you enter the testing range early. It appears to be the most popular ban, given how Splatoon 2 was also able to detect these patches. This is completely unsurprising. Not sure why people thought this was okay to try. So don't cheat, everybody. Don't cheat. It's bad for you.
wow, that's like why would you want to cheat in a demo?
I don't understand why people want to cheat in the first place. It's just like, why? I mean, I get it. Like something like GTA where you turn on like infinite ammo and rockets and all this stuff, right? That's different. But in like a multiplayer centric game, why would you do that to yourself,
They want because people think that if they cheat, they can stay at a ranking,
Mm.
you know,
It's,
and have an advantage in the game. Because you don't. I feel like when you cheat in a multiplayer game of this statue, it really makes you look weak, and it's not fun for all the people who are playing the game the way that it was intended. So, like, what's the purpose of you cheating to stay have a top priority, or do you feel like that's the best way to play the game or anything? Because I'm like, man, getting your whole console banned, your NSO banned,
Hmm.
that's to a point where shoot your subscription or the use of the system is not even like possible or anything.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just don't cheat. It's bad for you. It's bad for you.
Yes.
All right, Ed. So that's all the news we got. Like I said, scraping the bottom of the barrel and really struggling. So
Yes.
yeah.
Well, everybody, it's time for Doc Mode. In a recent interview with Bloomberg, Phil Spencer talked a bit about gamers seeing less and less exclusive in the near future. He quotes, "It is something we're just going to see less and less. Maybe you happen in your household on an Xbox and I buy a PlayStation, and our kids want to play together, and they can't because we bought the wrong piece of plastic to plug into our television." So for tonight's Doc Mode, is Phil right, and does this apply to Nintendo? Also, if we do see less and less exclusives, will people flock more to Nintendo for their exclusives? Lastly, where does that put time exclusive and Game Pass exclusives at? You ready to lead block agents? Let's go! So Corey,
Hmm.
hearing hearing this quote, um, do you agree with them in a sense?
I mean, part of me is just like, well, Xbox doesn't really have any exclusives coming out anytime soon, so I don't. That was my internal joke, which is obviously false. They do, right? They're just not coming for a while, but I don't really know. I mean, exclusive is such a broad term at these at
Mm-hmm.
this point where it doesn't really mean what it used to mean, right? Like everything's coming to PC. Xbox has Game Pass on PC. They are on Steam, right? Like I think in terms of what he's saying, like I think he wants Xbox to be everywhere and anywhere that it can be, and whoever will cooperate. Uh, obviously Xbox made a big splash by putting their games on Steam and PC stuff and cloud gaming and Samsung TVs, and I mean there would be a curated version of Game Pass on Switch and PlayStation if Nintendo and Sony allowed it. Like I think Phil just wants the Xbox brand everywhere. It doesn't matter, where you're playing. It's they want that engagement. They want those people spending the money on DLC and battle passes and new cars for Forza, new skins for Halo, and new operations for Gears and whatever else is coming, right? Like they want that stuff, uh, and it doesn't matter where people get it. Of course, they'd like it on their Xbox platforms, right? Because they would get you know all of the money instead of 70% of it. But at the same time, uh, money is money, and you get it where you get it. And I think right now Sony is kind of slowly seeing that, right, with
Mm-hmm.
putting their games on PC, and yeah, they're not day and date like Xbox is, right? Like they still believe in a premium product out first on their box, but these games are coming, and God of War has sold a ton on PC. Spider-Man has sold a ton on PC. People are anxiously waiting Uncharted on PC, and so I think in a way, the way he says it, and the way that this article is positioning it, I don't know if you read the article or the interview where this was from, right? It like that's just a headline grabber of a statement, right? But if you go in and listen and see, like what he means is like he wants the Xbox brand wherever he can get it, and uh, if that includes the PlayStation, if that includes Switch at some point down the road, then yeah, maybe there is a curated version of Game Pass, but it's available everywhere else, Xbox Cloud Gaming is available on your phone right now, and you can play whatever you want. Is it great? It's
Depends on
serviceable.
your service.
It's serviceable in some areas. Not my preferred way of playing games. Don't don't play Halo Infinite on your phone. I'll tell you that right now. But overall, I think it's a decent way to play certain games, single player games, and strategy and RPG type games. I still prefer a dedicated handheld. Like, I'm shocked that Sony is not making another dedicated handheld specifically because of the popularity of the Switch,
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. There's that rumor that Microsoft is developing a cloud-based handheld with a special technology that is kind of hones in on the cloud gaming stuff, and that's fine. But my thing is also, like, you look at the Steam Deck. Look how popular the Steam Deck is. Like, shockingly, surprisingly popular.
It's popular because people can mod stuff on it.
But that's the thing, that you really can't do that on there. I mean, you can, because it's a computer, but like, people want their games on the go, man. People want to play games in a handheld form,
which is fine, but I'm gonna let that one go because I have recycled my opinion about the Steam Deck, and so I'm just gonna let that be what it needs to be.
My thing is the Steam Deck is popular, whether you think it is or not. It's popular. People want the games that you can't get on Switch on the go, right? People are playing God of War. People are playing Spider-Man. People are playing Jedi Fallen Order on their Steam Deck,
which is fine. Which is cool, great. Which I agree that's happening, but a lot of people have used their Steam Deck for other measures when it's not supposed to be used that way.
Well, yeah, I mean, people are using it as an emulator box, or they're modding it so they can put Game Pass on it, right? But like, the fact is, they left it open so people could do that, and I think, that's why Vita was, that's why the PSP was super popular, right? It was easy to hack open. Not that Sony wanted it to be, but you look at the Steam Deck and you can swap back and forth between the modded version and the not modded version. You can put emulators on there, which is cool. Like, I think people, especially games that you can't play any other way, like, I think the Steam Deck is doing a lot of cool things. And like I said, once they get some sort of anti-cheat thing on there, and if that's a viable way to play Destiny, then I will be getting one,
Well, like I said, that's another discussion I would rather have on something else about it because of what my viewpoint and my opinion about the Steam Deck. So I'll let that be what it needs to be.
I'm not saying that Ed.
I'm not saying that it's not popular, but I feel like it's popular for the wrong reasons.
It's popular for different reasons. So I think that what Phil Spencer is saying is that what Xbox is doing is something. It's funny because what Xbox is doing is what the other two companies should be doing, right? Like, I mean, especially in terms of backwards compatibility and the way old games run. And, I mean, if PlayStation put half the amount of effort into backwards compatibility that Xbox was putting in, Xbox would be toast, right? Like, I feel like so many people, because that nostalgia is there, I don't think there's really a nostalgia for anything on Xbox except for Halo. And, I mean, yeah, Fable, you could go there, or Knights of the Republic, which is getting a remake, supposedly, maybe someday from someone. Perfect Dark, but that started out on Nintendo. Like, I feel like their efforts are awesome, and I want people who are nostalgic for the Xbox brand to be happy with their Xboxes, right? Like, I think preserving old games is cool. I wish the other two companies, Nintendo included, would do a better job of preserving their legacy. And NSO is a great step in the right direction, right? But
I think with Nintendo, it's just like we somewhat did preserve it when we had backwards in a different format when it was physically format for backwards compatibility, and Xbox and Sony was late to the game. Now that we have changed our media and preservation is different, Xbox, when they see how popular it was just like, well, if all our stuff, most of our games are digitally, we got it on our store. So all we need to do is figure out how that works and bam, transfer it. Because Xbox was late to the party with backwards compatibility. They've been late for it for two whole generations from when Nintendo was doing it, or three whole generations if you want to count the DS. And I'm not knocking Xbox about that. I'm not trying to knock them for it. But when backwards compatibility in physical form was very popular, and Nintendo was doing it, you guys, for Xbox, they had the ability to do it. You cannot tell me you are a hardware and software company who have all of this technology and all of these programmers, and y'all cannot figure out backwards compatibility. There's no possible way a company in Japan is able to do it, even though it's physical, and y'all not able to do it digitally. Y'all led the online, or not led. Y'all was dominant with the online structure of gaming. So there should have been a way for that to happen. PlayStation, I don't even know what they was doing. They was still trying to figure out the blue cell, the blue chip, the cell chip. They were trying to figure how to get that to run on PS3.
Sony figured it out on the PlayStation 3 and nobody else could, right? I mean, that was the thing.
Yes.
And my thing is like, it's funny because like some of the stuff that I've been hearing about the PlayStation emulation of PlayStation 3 games is that the way emulation is going to have to work to get those games to run natively is that each game is going to have to be packed with its own emulator tuned to that game, right?
That's crazy.
That's what I've heard from Moore's Law is Dead. I don't know if you know that YouTube channel.
I heard of it.
He does a lot of tech stuff. Specifically, they have like a whole section on PlayStation tech, and he went into PlayStation backwards compatibility, and like, yeah, they have games running from PlayStation 3 and running really well, but they have to go through each game individually, and they said like native PlayStation 3 games might be ready by PlayStation 6.
Dang.
Which is like, if this generation goes as long as the last one, 6 years away at least?
Mm-hmm.
Because each game has to be packed with its own emulator. Because each game uses the cell processor differently.
For first person or just every game?
Every game uses the cell processor differently.
That's interesting.
Every studio tuned their game to the cell processor differently. Like to the point where like the Uncharted trilogy used the cell processor differently than The Last of Us. So like Naughty Dog can't even go in and tune its own games. Like they can't say, oh, well, here's the Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 native PS3 version. By the way, just buy the PlayStation 4 versions of those games. All right, those games, it's a lot better. But you know what I'm saying? Like
they couldn't even do the Jak and Daxter collection, and even though the Jak and Daxter games that came on PS2, they couldn't even use the PS3 versions if that was the case.
But that's what I'm saying though, is like it's crazy to look at and be like, man, and
that was supposed to be the most powerful chip of a cell processor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, I don't know. But again, right, that's where Microsoft made the right move, is where like, so my thing has always been like, in terms of games, right? Like, yeah, there's some really interesting technology out there. It's the same way that VR works right now, right? Mm-hmm. Where like it's such cool technology. But at the end of the day, you compare the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Yeah, the Xbox 360's architecture probably a little less powerful, except that it had more RAM inside, right?
Yeah.
So like it allowed games to run better and whatever. The architecture was a little bit more simple. The architecture was a little easier to work with. So the games came to Xbox 360 first, you know? And the cell processor did some really cool stuff, right? You look at Uncharted, amazing. You look at Infamous, like the games that utilized it well. God of War 3, what an amazing looking game. What an amazing running game.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at BioShock, didn't come for, 14 months, I think? You look at Mass Effect.
I think so. Yeah.
Now, granted, I know that was like a
But
Microsoft
actually,
deal thing, but
before BioShock, I think it wasn't planned for PlayStation 3.
it wasn't, because the PlayStation 3 was so hard to work with.
I knew it was a Xbox 360 game because Game Informer did the cover story for
Yeah,
it.
well, when it came to PlayStation 3 was that like when you beat the game, it had the trailer for BioShock 2.
Right.
But
But
also it didn't run nearly as well. So,
right. I just didn't know that it was planned for PlayStation 3 until, I guess, like you said, like a year and a couple of months later. Because I don't even remember when it got announced for PlayStation 3, but I found out that it was coming to that system.
I mean, but the thing is like you saw games come to the PlayStation later because of the cell processor, or you saw games get delayed because they wanted the games to come out at the same time, but they couldn't figure out how to get to run on the PlayStation, which is why the PlayStation 4 went to x86 architecture and simplified the console. And look what the Xbox One did. They made everything super complicated, right? Voice commands. You have to have your Kinect hooked up, right? You have to have your disc, like, whatever, right? Look at the PlayStation. It's so simple. It's $100 cheaper. Of course it's going to sell more because it simplified the technology and put it out cheaper and didn't overcomplicate things like Xbox, which is probably another reason why the Wii U didn't sell very well, Oh man, dual screen experience. Guess what? Nobody really wants that, And
But
so,
the thing, but that was the time of the era that when people were on when the company was on their high horse, when their next console came out, there was that place expectation that they were going to do well. Now, Nintendo, I could say with going from Wii to Wii U, I think Nintendo was just like, we want to innovate. We're not. I think they were still into their casual mode of thing, but they weren't like we're doing this for power. We just want to change the way that you experience games. We don't want we want to kind of change it up, do something different. And yes, of course, people didn't want that, or people didn't expect that, but it was something new. It was something that people was forcing people out of their comfort level of gaming. It's not time for you to sit down with a controller and just play a game and stuff. We want you to be interactive, and we want you to really be in the game and stuff. This is a new way of playing. I think that was Nintendo's idea. But look at with Sony, from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. PlayStation 2 sold so well that their place expectations was just like people are already going to buy PlayStation 3 just by our tech standards. And then look at Xbox, because 360 was so popular. They placed that same expectation with Xbox One.
Yeah, but you also look at the PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. The architecture inside the PlayStation 3 was super different. Yeah. It was also double the price at least. And then you look at the Xbox 360, simplified architecture inside, they broke even at 300 is what it came out at? 350?
I think so. I think it was hard drive.
I think it was 350 and 250. Like the arcade edition came out at 250.
Yeah,
something like that.
Because I think was it 32 gig for the 350?
Yeah,
because I think it had a hard drive. Or something
it was 20.
Like that.
I think the hard drive was 20 gig. Anyway,
20.
my
Yeah.
point is like the PlayStation came out at $600. You really think that your premium price tag is going to, your name is going to outweigh the price of your console? No,
That's but
it's
that's what
not.
but that's what Sony thought, and Microsoft did the same thing. That's because our system is popular. From name alone, we're going to sell probably almost the same or past that amount with our next console. It happened to all three platforms.
Well,
It did it from Wii to Wii U. It did it from PS2 to PS3, and it did it from 360 to Xbox One. All of them, with their next platform came out, regardless of sales, it came out looking bad for those companies. That's why we have Switch. That's why we end up having PlayStation 4. That's why we end up having Series X. We got away from Doc One, everybody, so I do apologize.
no, it's fine, but like I think like where the Wii and then you have something innovative like the Switch, which like you talk about what Xbox did, right, with the Kinect, always connected, voice commands, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? You look at the Wii U, the dual screen experience, which was really hard for developers to kind of, especially third parties, to like put extra work into making that controller do extra functions, right? Give it to Ubisoft. They did some pretty interesting things with Zombie U and Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs, right? They tried, right? I always give it credit to Ubisoft for trying something with the Switch,
Yeah.
right? They always do something, or with Nintendo, they always try something unique and different, at least for the first couple years or whatever. But then, obviously PlayStation 3 with the cell architecture, but I mean, look at PlayStation 5. It's doing the same thing. It's $550 in most, or whatever, in most countries now. They've raised the price, which is super interesting, with Xbox having a box that is $300 and less than that in most cases. The Series S, I saw it for $229 the other day on some deal of the day or whatever.
Well, because they know that I think it's kind of cheaper to get out than the Series X is.
Well, yeah,
in a sense.
it is. But my point is like, you look at something like the Switch. What was Nintendo's problem? They were trying to do too much with two different consoles, that with technology that people, that it was fad technology, right? Like the 3D and the 3DS is what you would call fad technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's super interesting for about an hour, right? And then how many people turn the 3D off on their system? Almost everybody, to the point where they put out a version of the console without
The
3D,
3DS.
which I have, and it's awesome. You look at the Wii U. What was the big draw of the Wii U? Dual screen experience. When iPads came out, what was the big fad technology? You turn on this Disney movie, you download the Disney app, and you can have dual screen technology, because what do you want to do when a movie is playing? Look down. Sure. Guess what? You don't see dual screen technology anymore, do you? So guess what? No, I'm not done. Not done.
I was talking about the Disney thing.
The other thing, well, I mean, it was across the board, right? With like Hulu and Netflix try to do it.
Yeah.
Amazon was a big one too with the IMDb stuff. But the Wii U, the other thing it did really well that people don't give it enough credit for, because you couldn't take it more than 15 feet from the console, was playing games in handheld mode while the TV was on, right? Playing games on the screen. So what did Nintendo do? They took the best of their handheld line and what the Wii U did so well, and they put it into a console that made sense. The Switch makes sense. That is technology that makes sense. Look how popular it is. Why? Because they didn't fudge up the marketing, and they made one product that made sense, and everybody loves Nintendo games. So
yeah, but like I said, Nintendo, at least we could admire Nintendo because they tried to be innovative. They tried to do something different. I feel like even after Iwata passed away, that they weren't trying to be on their high horse of saying this next system is going to be the one that we got their expectation that people are going to buy. I still feel like Nintendo, at least they tried to do something different in gaming. And yes, it did lead up to what the Switch is now. And I think that's the thing, kind of going back into the exclusive talk with Phil Spencer, is that for me personally, I don't see that is going, it's going to be less and less, because I feel like the exclusives that you're talking about, you're applying that to your first party stuff. You're not applying it to anybody else.
Well, that's what I was trying to say though, is that statement was taken out of context, right? And of course, PlayStation's never going to put their games on Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo's never going to put their games on PlayStation. There's too much bad blood between those two companies to where they're not going to work together ever. But it's just a sense of like, I think he feels like maybe games someday will get to the point where we treat them like Blu-rays or DVDs, right? Where like you can just buy a generic box and play these games, whatever games you want, and play them that way, right? I think that's what he was kind of getting at, which at some point I think we will get there, but it's not going to be anytime soon, right? There's going to be a PlayStation 6 and a PlayStation 7 probably. There's going to be an iteration on the Xbox. There's going to be Nintendo is always going to stay in their own lane and do whatever they want, right? So there's always going to be a new Nintendo console coming out at some point. But I think his head is in the right space, with that statement. And I think he truly believes that someday we will get there. And how Xbox is running their business now, I think he truly believes that Xbox will be there, and I think they will be there first. So.
But see, I think with Xbox is that I feel like the reason why he's saying this is because that Game Pass has been so successful, because it is everywhere, that to him exclusives don't mean anything. Because we got our games on the service that you could play on most devices that goes out. So we're not even thinking about our very first party, because I'm sorry, Microsoft, you don't have enough first party that's strong enough for this comment not to be made. Because the thing about it is that you have to put your games now as a first party, where Microsoft being first party in this video game system for the Xbox ecosystem. You have to put your games on Game Pass so people can play them. They're not going out to buy these games like they are going out to buy like Nintendo, in a sense. Well,
but that's because Xbox has Game Pass, right? People are
right. That's what I'm saying. Because of the service that they have.
But people are still buying PlayStation games, in droves. They have two 20 million sellers, I think, and they have a ton of 10 million sellers, which is great. I think. Yeah. But like, here's the thing: the more games everybody sells, the more great games they get to make, and the more great games we get to play. I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, I think with Nintendo, and the reason I feel like this doesn't kind of apply to them is that, yes, they are making their own first-party exclusives, but they do go to other developers to make exclusive games for them. They're fitting the bill. And people know that if I don't get this game, and I think that's the thing, probably why I feel Spencer may not see it the way that Nintendo or probably myself even see it, is that if you don't get this game for this Nintendo platform at the time of release or anything, trust me, it's going to be hard to find. With Microsoft, they're just like, yeah, we got our system. Now, because of Game Pass, we got our game on that service. All you need to do is sign up, pay us a monthly fee, and you get to enjoy it as long as you pay us until you go and buy that game. Because if you do it digitally, you do risk of it being unplayable because the license might get taken away and you can't play it again. I don't know how that works. But if you got it physically, you can load it up and play the game. And I think because you're not seeing a lot of exclusive physicals from Microsoft, I think that's why you're going to see less and less